Big change is coming.
It does.
Big change is coming.
It could go one way or the other.
It's only going to go one way. It's going to involve more personal responsibility.
Yeah.
It's going to involve a smaller state.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to involve more right-wing policies. There is no new problems.
No.
There's only new problem makers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call this politics. I would call this life.
Yeah.
Because that's what
Yeah.
we've discussed today, life. We've discussed problems in the country, what the solutions could be.
Well, everything is political nowadays, so
Yeah.
if everything's political, nothing's political.
Yeah. But the second you use the word political, it puts lots of people
Yeah,
off.
it puts
So-
an anus on it, doesn't it?
So what we're discussing is life. How are we going to get a better life for me and you? How are we going to get a better life for our children and our grandchildren? How are we going to get
Surely that's the whole goal, isn't it?
How are we going to get safer streets so our women folk can walk on them? How are we going to get better jobs? How are we going to get jobs? How are we going to get a better government? This is life. This isn't party politics. It's not about I'm voting Labour because of this. I'm voting Tories or Reform because of that.
But it does feel like it's on a real tipping point.
It does. Big change is coming.
It does.
Big change is coming.
It
I'm
could
not
go
sure.
one way or the other.
It's only going to go one way.
You reckon?
It's only going to go one way. How it looks and where we end, I don't know. But big change is coming. I can guarantee it's going to involve more personal responsibility.
Yeah.
It's going to involve a smaller state.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to involve more right-wing policies. Those things are definite because the whole Western world is swinging that way.
Yeah.
These things swing one way to another.
I try not to get too hopeful about it. Because I've been duped before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to take time. We're going to see some big changes over this next. When the next government comes in, we're going to see some big changes.
Yeah.
This government will do nothing. This government daren't do anything. It won't U-turn.
So more of nothing.
More of nothing. Yeah. For another couple of years until they fall.
But that nothing can do so much damage.
I think it's also great. I think that gives another 2 or 3 years for Englishmen to get pissed off.
Yep.
Because that's what's the migrant thing, to me personally, is the absolute turning point. Because fuck about with people's taxes. We've said this before.
Well, it was bad enough when you were hearing about 100,000 people a year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, when you're hearing there's like a couple of million.
No, but what I was going to say is fuck about with people's money. Fuck about with people's green initiative. No one really cares enough.
Yeah.
But fuck about with people's kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're going to fire up some men that haven't stood up for a little while. We spoke about that before. I think you start.
Up a lion.
Yeah.
Put it in Nick's words.
Yeah. And that's beginning to happen. It happened in Sweden the other week with that guy shot all those, immigrants.
That's not
and
the lion.
It doesn't.
Wake up.
No, but
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's if it's 2 or 3 more years before a better government come in, then maybe it's if it all got fixed tomorrow, everyone would go back to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't do enough, and it'd just go back to paying shitty taxes and having a shitty NHS and everything.
Yeah.
But maybe 2 years is enough to get people really revved up.
But I've been saying for years, change will come when we hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're at rock bottom yet. Another couple of years we'll be rock bottom. I wanted Labour to win the general election. I was rooting for them. I said that all online. Not because I'm a Labour supporter, but if we'd have got the Tories still in power, Tories were killing us slowly, so slowly we couldn't see it. I knew Labour in power would take us to rock bottom a lot quicker. Same destination as the Tories were taking us, but they take us there quicker and haven't been proven right.
Yeah.
And we need to hit rock bottom, and we're getting close now. All it's going to take now is the economy to get worse.
Labour aren't even the same Labour that they used to be.
No.
Like, there's an old saying around here that you only vote Labour in to fix the roads every 10 years.
No.
And looking at our local township, Garstang,
Yeah.
they're not even fixing the roads, they're just painting fucking white lines everywhere over the potholes. Literally, there's white lines painted over the potholes. I think that sums up Labour to a T right now.
Yeah. Labour councils, yeah.
Yeah.
But the things are going to get worse, and you're right. The sleeping giant, the Englishness is beginning to wake up.
Yeah.
And we're saying to ourselves, this isn't good enough. We've had something like this before in the 1400s called the Peasants' Revolt. I think I mentioned it in the book.
You did.
Yeah.
And that was when the peasants had enough. They'd just come over the Black Death, which was a bit like our COVID, because it messed with the jobs market, more taxes, people felt insecure. We've had that with COVID. The ruling power became more authoritarian, like we've got now, and you can see some similarities there. And the Peasants' Revolt changed the country, and I can see a modern version of that of coming along. History is a cycle. History just repeats itself all the time. Empires come and go, civilizations grow and then die, and everything is a cycle in our world.
Yeah.
That's why history is so important, because you can predict what's going to happen and what's going to come by looking what happened before, because we're always the same creatures.
But is that why it's so fascinating to learn about history?
I mean, some of the stuff I read stuff now and I go, I can't believe I've just read that. They're describing today.
Yeah.
And this is a 200-year document from Rome. And they're describing, we've got the worst politicians in a generation. They're corrupt. The young people of our towns now have got no respect. And I'm reading these things going, this could be Rome today. This was 2,000 years ago in Rome. So there is no new problems.
No.
There's only new problem makers.
Yeah.
So all our problems we've had before, we've always solved them. All we have now is new people giving us the old problems.
Yeah.